I want to play Stardew Valley in The Sims, but before I can do that, I need to create Stardew Valley in The Sims. I had the standard farm open while I was creating this, and the standard farmhouse layout. Now, creating this room was the easy part, even though Sims 1 lacks a bit of paintings and carpets. Creating this room, like I said, was relatively easy, even though they don't have a lot of carpet options in The Sims, and even less paintings, so I chose the smallest one, which became my greatest regret in this game. I was quite pleased how this room turned out. Now I had to try and recreate like the step that you see in Stardew Valley. Unfortunately, The Sims 1, as far as I know, you can't have platforms, so I did what I could to make the illusion. Unfortunately, like I said, we need to take care of The Sims, and I needed a place to eat, and decided to put the bathroom outside. I didn't want to add an extra room. This room was serving a purpose from outside of view to make this house look a bit more like the farm house in Stardew Valley. Well, I did add like a wall to help with the privacy, but then I had added decorations which I could later use to sell for money to get rid of something. Added a pumpkin for good measure and tried to make it look a bit more Stardew Valley-ish. I tried to get the illusion of the slanted roof, but I decided to go to a double story. It was the closest thing I can get to. Now, if you want to skip all this building part, there is a timestamp underneath, so feel free to click it if I remember. Now comes my favorite part, creating the farm. Water, obviously. Trees, bushes. Unfortunately, there's no logs and there's no rocks that I could find, but I did find farming patches and I did add torches. I tried my best to recreate the bushy effect and the deserted effect of the Stardew Valley farm when you once first arrive. I also recreated like the spouse area and the pets area. Obviously, the most important parts are the pet area. Also, I forgot to record the next part. Do you remember when I added the painting and I told you it's going to be my biggest regret in this game? Meet Sunny. Sunny, the clown, who keeps watching me sleep and following me around, screaming and crying. I got a notification when he arrived, and as you can see, my person is not doing well. I think it's very realistic expectations of how the farmer in Stardew Valley feels like. And as you can see, Sunny also watches me shower, follows me around. He is a creep, and I've tried to get him to leave. Slapped him a few times. I didn't know how to get rid of this clown, and it was hard enough trying to take care of the Sims' needs while trying to farm at the same time. Now I understand why. And grateful that we don't have bathroom breaks in Stardew Valley. Now this is the moment I realized that I think this painting might be the key. So I tested it out, moved it outside to see if the clown follows, Sunny follows. I also realized that Farmer now only eats snacks, so I realized that that is not the proper fridge. And I didn't want to add a fire hazard because as we know, stoves in the Sim 1 catches fire easily. So I did plant lettuce and tomatoes, and I tried to sell bushes for money. It didn't work. I sold a few of my decorations, happily made it. It was very hard to keep my needs up and farm at the same time. At this moment, I realized it was the painting, and the cat high-fived the cat people. The animals, the pets in this game hissed and barked at Sunny a lot. Sunny was very distracting with all his coughing, crying, following me around. I just wanted to farm. I struggled a lot keeping my Sims kneed up in order for them to farm. It was a very hard balance and made me realize that Sims 1 is a very hard game. Now, I managed. She wasn't having a lot of fun, as you can see, and this is also the point of time I realized that I can get rid of the clown. But, like all things, it costs money. And I also got help with cleaning, but that's a story for another day. I had to make enough money to get rid of the clown. So that became the goal of this video. Make enough money to get clown services to get rid of Sunny. Because as you can see, the Sims team back in the day did not care for those with clown phobia. Imagine sleeping with a clown just standing above you, crying. Yeah, not a pleasant thought, okay? Not a pleasant thought. And he just kept following me around. It was horrible, and I think at that point of time the dog peed on him as well. On them. I tried selling a few things because the redundant routine of wanting to go to the bathroom, eat, crying, following Sunny, Sunny following me, Sunny screaming, Sunny crying, Sunny coughing made me go mad. So I did get a bookcase to see if I can get her needs up, her fun up. And then, of course, nothing goes smooth in this game. Another hurdle. It's very, very hard to be a farmer in this game. Yes. Thankfully, I did manage to get a few crops so I could take it downtown to Old Town to sell. It was quite a lot, in my opinion. However, the bus taxi services did cost money, so I had to find a different way. I also tried to get my Sims some decent food because the chips and crisps in the fridge was not doing it. And at this point, this is when I called services to help me because it was too much. It was too much cleaning, farming, trying to take care of yourself like a human being is quite difficult. And again, get more money. The routine of doing over and over again. Yeah, it's quite hard being a farmer in this game. It's quite hard playing Stardew Valley in this game, in my opinion. I'm not a very advanced simmer. Sims 1 was very hard, and I can't wait to get rid of Sunny. At this point, I thought my Sim would just kneel over and meet the Grim Reaper because everything was in red. And she kept going, and then passed out, farmed, creepy clown staring at her backside, coughing, and yeah, pleasant. She couldn't even made it to bed. She just stepped on her crops, quite Stardew Valley accurate. Now, I went back, and this is the point where I realized that going back and forth just costs more money, and I just wanted to get rid of the clown, so I looked around for things I could sell on my farm later, because I was very closed and I just needed to get rid of this clown. Like I said, at this certain point I was just, this was hard, and I started selling stuff. All my decorations came in handy to sell, and I just needed a few more simoleons to call the services. And I couldn't even sleep. So I was like, wake up, farmer Nell, you need to phone clown services immediately. And what follows was entertainment. As they took Sunny and the cursed painting, I realized, okay, I can end the video. Finally, I made it. I got rid of Sunny. I farmed, which was difficult, but I wanted to light the fire because that's the first thing I do in Stardew Valley. It's so cozy, lighting the fire. I can't believe I haven't put on the fire before this moment. So I put it on, and I was gonna slowly zoom out, show you the full farm. Happy that I made it barely. She barely made it. I think she wouldn't have survived longer than this moment. And then this happened. I didn't know this could happen. I didn't even put an oven because I was afraid it's gonna catch fire. Turns out putting a wooden table next to a fireplace is dangerous. In the sense, obviously. But here we are. She didn't even matter. She was so in the red of emotions that that fire was like, nothing new. Until she managed to like realize why she was outside. The thought was like, oh, that fireplace was bigger than it was meant to be. Just happy she didn't die. Because what a way it would have ended. And of course, a raccoon showed up, but I hope you did enjoy this video. It took a few turns that I did not expect, but all in all, it's quite hard taking care of a Sims that tries to farm. So I'm happy there's no bathroom breaks in Stardew Valley. It's hard enough. But thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in another video.